Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're going to learn how to dimension the object or part seen here using coordinate or datum dimensioning techniques. If you recall, we designed this object here in a previous video, but today we're going to learn how to dimension it. Let's go ahead and get started. Come on up to our workspace and we're going to change our workspace from design now to drawing, and we're going to select from design. All right, and for our sheet size, well, for our standard, we're going to select ASME, American Society of Mechanical Engineers, and for our units, inches, or I'm sorry, millimeters, because we did design this in centimeters. Okay, and our sheet size now is going to be 11 inches by 8.5 inches. Go ahead and select OK. All right, I'm going to go ahead now and place my front view right here. I'm actually going to change though my style. I'm going to select visible edges only. I'm gonna, and you know it's a little small. Let's make it a little bit bigger. Let's make it 1.3. That's probably a good size right there. So I'm gonna click and go ahead and select OK. Bring in my next view. Let's bring in a top view now. Come on over here to front, select top, click here. But I also want to make it 1.3 as well, and then select OK. All right, and these two views are sufficient for us to dimension in order to manufacture the product. So we don't need a third view, okay? So now let's come on up and add our 3D view here. So I'm going to come to front and I'm going to come on down to northeast isometric, and that's a pretty good 3D view. However, I'm going to give it some shading. So, and just to be consistent, let's make it the same scale as the others. So I'm going to click it here, and I'm going to click OK. All right, I'm going to move some things around here just to get them situated appropriately. So there's a couple ways we can dimension this part. And if you notice, there's a lot of angular sort of features on this part. So we can come on up here to dimension and we can click here and click on this line, and we could, throw some angles on there. But in the coordinate method, which I'm going to talk about, we don't do that. So I'm going to delete this guy. So in order for them to manufacture this part, there's another way we can add dimensions without angles, and that's, like I said, called the coordinate method. And the other method of dimensioning we need to use in this tutorial is the datum method, where we start from a datum or a corner and we go across, selecting dimensioning basically from point to point, and then we work our way up dimensioning from point to point. Okay, so let's go ahead and start doing this. So let's come on up to our dimension tool. Okay, I'm going to start working across. I'm going to select this as my datum. I'm going to click here and click here. Okay, and then I'm going to keep working my way across here. I'm going to click here and click here because we're doing datum dimensioning. And I'm going to click here and then click here, come on up. And then I'm going to click here and then here. And then I'm just going to keep going across to each feature, click here to here. And then I'm going to click here to here. And we're going to move some things around here so it looks a little better. I'm going to hit escape to take me out of dimension mode. I'm going to click on my part and I'm going to drag this gray square down here so I got a little bit more room to work with. And I'm going to click on this guy and move it up a little bit. All right, and now I'm going to move this dimension over here. Okay, and let's see if we can maybe move this guy down a little bit. All right, that looks pretty good. All right, so now let's use the same datum, this back left corner, and we're going to start dimensioning. Instead of across, we're going to start dimensioning up. And so I'm going to grab my dimensioning tool. I'm going to click on that datum point. I'm going to click here and go across. I'm going to click on this data point again, and the next feature working up is this guy right there. And then I'm going to click on this corner right here and this corner, and I'm going to just move my dimension out. So the coordinate method is just one way to dimension when we have lots of angles. Like I said, we can add angular dimensions here. We can click here and click there and get our angle. However, I want to hit escape. Because we know this distance right here, this 10, and we know this distance right here, and this 45 distance, there's enough information there to manufacture the part. So when we use the coordinate method of dimensioning, we don't add angles. We simply dimension from the bottom and the tops of our angles to the edges of our part. All right, so I'm going to now go ahead and just tidy up a little bit. I'm going to move this 30 in. I'm going to move this 50 in. All right, and the last thing we need to dimension is the depth of the part, how deep it is here. So we can just come on up here, click here, and click here, and there we go. All right, when you're done, please just type your name into your text here, and then go ahead and save it when you're done. And that'll do it for this tutorial. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.